What's going on, YouTube family? My name is Jason Torres. I'm a photographer in Southern California, and today I'd like to give you a little bit of we're just going to talk about lighting, just in general, in regards to photography, even a little bit of videography. Actually, a lot of bit of videography. If you know anyone who is a serious photographer, the first thing that they're going to tell you is that lighting is essential. Lighting is literally, that's what photography means. It means the capturing of light. So if you know anything about how to light somebody and what is best in each scenario, then you're going to be better off whenever you're actually trying to take your photo or record your video. So today I'm going to talk about a little bit of different types of lighting, what's better in each scenario. If you guys want to do more of like in-depth research about like different lighting types, I would suggest that you do that. That's a lot of knowledge that is not really necessary if you can just kind of figure it out by eye. I don't know if I've told you guys before, but I've never gone to an official course for photography. I've never done any classes or anything. I'm completely self-taught. I'm self-taught by YouTube. I'm self-taught by just like books that I've picked up throughout my time trying to do photography. So you can easily learn this stuff if you just pay attention and actually find an interest in it. So today I'm going to talk about a little bit of like artificial lighting and when that's appropriate to use, as well as natural lighting. Currently, I'm actually just using natural lighting. I don't have any lights on in my room or in my office at all. I'm just sitting in front of a large window. And actually, a great example of this is a large flat white lighting that's on me right now. And because of the sun position, it's not too harsh. The position is actually, it's like 11 o'clock in the morning right now, so it's like slightly past the roof of my house. So it's perfect right now. I have this really nice ambient light from my window. It's not direct sunlight, it's not harsh. I don't see a lot of harsh shadows on my face. You get a lot of detail still. I actually am like pretty, I guess, heavy, right? And you're not even seeing my double chin right now, which is great. Also, because I'm not sitting back like this, just positioning of myself is going to be a big portion of that as well. But as far as lighting goes, so there's a term called Rembrandt lighting. And if I actually turn my face a little bit here, you can see that there starts to become like a triangle around the bottom of my eye on the side. And if you're trying to accomplish Rembrandt lighting, that is how you do that. It's a side profile kind of light coming from above. Rembrandt, the name I think is a painter, and he used to paint in that fashion where the light source was always coming from the side and creating that nice triangle underneath your eye right here. And I can tell you that it looks beautiful. It's a great like type of lighting. There's also what's called clamshell lighting, where you have one light source above, one light source below, and it creates a nice even light on your subject all the way across. There's like half face lighting, where it's really dramatic, and that's kind of just a really direct light source that's on one side, and then this entire side of you is completely dark. There's a couple other styles, I can't remember them off the top of my head. But like I said, if you want to do more research on that, I suggest you do it. Having that variety in your toolkit, or another feather in your cap, if you will, is a great thing to have. Especially if nobody knows anything about lighting, and you can give them all those different looks in one sitting, in like one session. They're going to be like, whoa, I didn't know you could do all of this. And it's definitely a positive outlook on you for sure. Alright, so we're going to go over today we're going to go over artificial lighting. Artificial lighting, right now in front of me I actually have LEDs. And when it was in my last video, when I was doing the video about the lens and how to read your lens, that video was shot a little later in the afternoon and there wasn't enough light coming from outside. So I actually used the artificial light. This is an LED panel. It has different temperatures on it, different intensities of light that you can actually, you can go all up to 100. I was at like 50%. It has a nice white panel on it, like it's a really nice soft diffused light if you don't go super harsh with it. And then the temperature range gives you, I think, up to 5200 Kelvin, which is like outdoors, all the way to, I think it says like 32 or 3500 Kelvin, which is like super blue, which I would never use, but that's just because I don't do that. So I just used one panel and had some kind of that Rembrandt lighting last time. It's just slightly off to my right. For you guys, it would be your left. But that was appropriate for that moment just because I didn't have enough light coming from outside. If you're outside and you're taking photos, it's really important that you pay attention to where the sun is. Try to avoid shooting at midday. If you do have to shoot at midday, try to find some shade and put the sun behind your subject. It creates what's called like rim lighting. It's like an outline of your subject, which creates a really beautiful, especially with women, creates a really beautiful like highlight in their hair, which is really nice. But that's if you have to. I would try to suggest shooting earlier in the morning or later in the afternoon, so you have that diversity in light that you can play with. Directly down on top of you at noon is really harsh and it creates a lot of shadows underneath you and it doesn't look flattering at all. Also, if you're using a camera that has a pop-up flash on it, don't ever use that at your subject. Like, they have created them in a way that you don't really have choice. But what it does is it creates a super flat image, and it's never a good look for anyone. If you want to use a flash and you have one of those, they normally have what's called a hot shoe on top. You can connect a trigger to an external flash and put the flash off to the side, and not directly at your subject, and it'll create like a really nice light if you do that. Or bounce it off the ceiling. There's a lot of different ways you can do lighting. There's also what's called light diffusion or light bouncing. If you're outside and you're using the sun and you are shooting at noon, you can use a diffusing panel. It's essentially just a white panel that you can put over your subject, and it almost creates shade for them, and they don't have that direct sunlight on them, but you still get really nice lighting. Or you can bounce light. So let's say that they were in the shade and you still wanted to make them pop from the scene. There's a reflection panel that you can purchase on Amazon real cheap, and you can go and bounce light from the sun back onto them, and it really makes them stand out because of the shadow around them. So that's something that I would look into as well. If you guys have any other questions about lighting, about possibly, if you want to talk about it more, I'm totally down to talk about it more. I just want to do a quick little video on lighting, and if you guys have any other questions, let me know.